As the day cools down, life slowly returns to the bush in southeast Zimbabwe. The African wild dogs spent the hottest part of the day sleeping in the shade. Now, in the late afternoon, the pack comes together, ready to go out hunting. The perfect time for Jessica Watermeyer to check up on the pack. She heads up a conservation project for wild dogs in the Savé Valley Conservancy. It's a protected area that covers 3,000 square kilometers. She spent years working with these animals.
This is our festive pack, and we've called them that because, as you can see, they've got beautiful and very distinct and colourful markings. They also happen to be one of the biggest packs in the Conservancy, so there are about 11 adults now. Started off the denning season or the year at 12. They had 14 puppies, but we're down to 7 now. And they're also obviously just a very relaxed and habituated pack, as you can see, so fantastic for us for working with them and for our monitoring and research purposes.
Wild dogs are among the most endangered carnivores in Africa, with population numbers of around 7,000 at most. The Savé Valley Conservancy provides a large area for them to roam freely, which is exactly what they need to survive. Impala antelopes are their first choice of prey.
They are incredibly social pack animals. So just the way that they interact with each other, the way they take care of each other, the way they take care of the puppies, how all pack members pull together to look after each other. Very different from other social carnivores, for example, lion. When wild dogs are at a kill, the adults will let the puppies eat first. They will look after the injured. They will take meat back to the injured.
The Savé Conservancy was originally formed from an amalgamation of large private ranches. It finances itself through tourism and controlled sustainable hunting. This means endangered species are protected and the area isn't sacrificed for farmland. Outside the Conservancy, little of the original bush remains. The local population has grown, and more land has gone over to farming, leading to increased contact between wildlife and humans. The conservationists now work closely with local communities to protect the animals. Victor Chibaya teaches school students about how the wild animals live. He and his team visit the schools 3 times a year. Many of the children are fascinated. The local villagers often have a very different take on how to deal with the wildlife in their area.
The traditional knowledge basically around the conservancy is they normally chase them away if they are predators, but if they are herbivores, they normally kill them for meat. So the knowledge which we are bringing now, the scientific one, is no, we have to coexist with even the large carnivores and also the prey species as well.
Chibaya teaches the children about the food chain and explains what happens when one species dies out completely. The idea is to help the children see the importance of conservation.
I think it's great to learn about protecting the animals. And now I know that if poachers come, I need to report it to the police or my teachers.
The Wild Dog Project also finances books and teaching materials and even pays the tuition fees for some of the students. This school started working with the conservationists in 2013. Headmaster Elia Nguenya says a lot has changed since then.
You can actually see that even if we see a snake at the school as of now, they will tell you that, oh, Victor Chibaya doesn't like us to kill these things. They say, please leave these things. It's there to live because it's very important for the ecosystem. Of those kids that have actually passed through this school, we have never had a kid who have been arrested for poaching.
Back in the Conservancy, the pack are hunting, close to a kill. But this wildebeest is a little too big for them. Still, it provides a good sparring partner for the younger dogs to hone their hunting skills. So, after a little excitement, predators and potential prey decide to go their separate ways. But African wild dogs are themselves exposed to danger, even inside the park, as we discover the next day. Ranger King Kotzevu is out on patrol when a colleague contacts him.
I can found a carcass of a wild dog dead from a snare.
The ranger immediately heads to the scene, where Jessica Watermeyer is waiting for him. It soon becomes clear the situation is even worse than they thought.
We got a report this morning that there were 2 dogs that were caught in wires. They were still fighting the wires. So we rushed here as soon as possible and got here within 20 minutes of the report. But unfortunately, by the time we got here, the dogs had already strangled themselves and suffocated.
It's a senseless killing. The dogs weren't even the target of the poachers. They set the wire trap to catch antelopes. The dogs tried to free themselves by biting through the wire, but the copper was too tough. Worse still, it's the alpha male that's been killed, along with another adult dog, the best hunters in the pack.
So the next step will be for our scouts to work with some of the local ranch scouts and to move through this area now and sweep and make sure we can pick up as many of these wires as possible. Ideally, you pick the wires up before this happens.
The wire is almost invisible in the dense bush, and the area is vast. But the rangers managed to find around 50 wire traps.
Dogs are unique to Africa. We don't find them anywhere else. And as conservationists working in Africa, we have a duty to protect them, to make sure they stay here for future generations. And they are a completely genetically distinct species. Once they're gone, they're gone.
The rest of the pack will stick together until the juveniles are fully grown. Fortunately, the alpha female has survived unscathed. Otherwise, the pack would have broken up. But with her mate now gone, hopes of gaining a new litter of puppies this year now look slim.